What's up guys, welcome to Year 2 Season 2 of Custom Operators. This time we have an extremely unique defender with a gadget we originally dubbed as Super Observation Blockers, and an attacker that has a twist on a common suggestion within the Discord server. Speaking of that, if you've got some ideas of your own, don't be afraid to join up and share them. I recently created a submission form that you can access on the server that will send your custom operators in for review. If I like them as much as you do, they'll be featured in a dedicated community operators video. The first of which, featuring 2 defenders and 2 attackers from the community, all credit due, will be coming next week around Wednesday. Other than that, I wanted to thank you all once again for the support on the channel and on the Discord. I'm very glad that there's so many people on the creative side of the community and are willing to share their ideas and comments. Before we begin, there are many other videos on this channel featuring custom operator ideas, so go check those out after this one. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see and even contribute to this big project. Without yapping any further, let's get into Operation Verdant Odyssey. Operation Verdant Odyssey takes us to a region the game has yet to touch on, the Caribbean. This time, hailing from Cuba, we have both an attacker and a defender for you today. Both of these operators were prodigies in their own fields in Cuba, but under-recognized, until Nighthaven heard about their devices, that is. Offering better pay, better facilities, and more importantly, more scientific liberties, it was no question whether Aleja Perez and Riel Ortiz would join up. If I were to do a map for this season, I think it comes as no surprise that a villa-style map in Havana, with all its bright pastel colors, would be in order. I imagine the layout for this map being somewhere in between coastline and villa, with long corridors, small rooms, vital hard breaches inside the map, and tons of variation for shotgun players. With that in mind, let's get into our attacker, Yarona. Yarona brings with her the first camera-style gadget that is not connected to our phones. Similar to Nomad, these small devices attach to the barrel of either of Yarona's main weapons. When shot, the device will attach to any surface and scan its line of sight, activating after a few moments. Notably, if shot on the floor, the device will scan in 180 degrees around itself. Once sufficiently scanning the room, the device will light up in 3 colors. Green to indicate that the room is safe to enter, orange to indicate that there is an enemy directly above or below the room, and red to indicate that an enemy has been detected within the room. Importantly, the gadget will only warn you of an enemy's presence and not their exact location. Their exact location will be revealed if they shoot the gadget after it has been activated, pinging them 3 times, similar to Alibi. This gadget has 2 simple functions for both sides. For Yarona, this provides either a way to identify empty rooms quickly and clear them, or assist in finding a particularly sneaky roamer. Keep in mind that this gadget does not turn off unless destroyed, so setting them in high visibility angles on your flanks may just save your life. For defenders, this gadget adds pressure. When Yarona's gadget is placed in a room, defenders either stay in the room and risk getting pinched, attempt to escape the room entirely, or shoot the device and reveal their position for a moment. Neither of these options are good for the defender, and Yarona's gadget fits perfectly in the map control / intel niche. She is very powerful with teammates like Jackal, Blitz, Yana, Deimos, and any other roam clear operators. However, her biggest counter is Vigil, as the camera is unable to detect him while his device is active. This might lure Yarona into a false sense of security, getting her killed. As this gadget is electrical, it is also detectable by Solus, jammed by Mute, and can be shot out of the air by Jaeger and Wamai. Onto her loadout. I wanted to give her 2 distinct options that allow players to choose 2 different playstyles with her gadget. Firstly, I wanted to give her the Alda on attack. For an LMG, I'm honestly surprised this hasn't been done yet, as the Alda is currently the only LMG on defense. For her other option, I wanted to give her the MP5 SD, another defender-only weapon. This integrally suppressed option allows Yarona to play a little stealthier without sacrificing any barrel attachments. For her secondary option, I gave her the Bailiff 410. I feel that making sightlines for this operator is so important that she actually has no other options in this category. For secondary gadgets, she has flashbangs to capitalize on her own information, and claymores to cover her flanks. Onto our defender, Ladron has what we originally called the Super Observation Blockers. This device is very literally an improvement on the Observation Blockers design, as in lore the secondary gadget is from Nighthaven. With some stolen tech from Sens and Alibi, Ladron has created a light barrier that can both block all vision and reveal attackers' locations, but not at the same time. Ladron gets 2 of these gadgets and has a phone code much like Fenrir, allowing him to flip between the 2 modes, one making the wall opaque, and one allowing it to triangulate projectiles to their source. The first default mode is the opaque wall. Similar to Sens's walls, this blocker projects beams of light from its strips, making an opaque surface that can be shot through but not seen through. With one code in his back pocket, Ladron can aim at the gadget and swap it to tracking mode. This makes the barrier transparent, but when any attacker projectiles pass through the barrier, their ballistics information will be tracked to its source, pinging the attacker once after a few moments of calculation. The gameplay loop in theory with Ladron goes a little something like this. Track attacker positions with the transparent wall, flip to the opaque one, and attempt to get a kill through it. Now, if used correctly, Ladron can be extremely powerful, so he does have reasonable counters. First and foremost, the gadget can be shot to destroy it, having a health pool much like Frost or Azami's gadgets. This means that Fuse, Flores, Zero, and Twitch are fantastic counters to his utility, and forces him to be more thoughtful about their placement. Secondly, his gadget is electrical, meaning it can be EMP'd by Thatcher, hacked by Brava, and detected by IQ. The opaque walls are also hard countered by Glaz, however watch out, as Warden can use them to his advantage as well. Ladron is a fantastic pairing with any defenders that already have observation blockers in their loadout, especially Warden and Maestro. Maestro's cameras can see through smoke, and Ladron's gadget is no different. Other defenders like Wamai can make his tracking mode a nightmare, as you can cleverly pull projectiles into its radius with his magnets. This gadget makes him perfect as an intel/anti-entry defender. His loadout consists of 2 options that fail his niche in a unique way. Firstly, the PDW-9. Now, I know what you're thinking, 43, you absolute menace, why would you ever put this gun on defense? And to that I say, run, run, run. For his second option, we have the Supernova, an option that allows him to use his gadget in corners like a little rat. I also gave him the Bailiff 410, as I feel that sightlines are as important to his gadget as they are to Yarona's. Beside that, I gave him the SMG-12, just so if you want to run the primary shotgun, you have an equally as bullet-hosey secondary to run along with it. For secondary gadget options, we have proximity alarms to further strengthen his opaque walls, and impact grenades to allow him to help with sight setup. In Operation Rose Solstice, I introduced the short barrel, a polar opposite option to the extended barrel. In Operation Hollow Rain, I introduced the ammunition attachment category, allowing shotgun users to choose whether they wanted slugs or buckshot. This season, I'm not going to be doing an attachment, but rather a defender secondary gadget. Simply, this secondary gadget appears as a roll of thick yellow tape. This roll has 2 uses and can only be used on standard barricades. Named aptly, the barricade tape strengthens the durability of standard barricades, making them immune to bullet destruction. The only way to destroy a taped barricade is to melee it with 3 standard melees or use an explosive. In the right hands and in the right position, this gadget could be a monster to deal with, and I feel like it fits the current defending roster quite well. Defenders receiving this gadget are as follows: Tachanka, Doc, Caveira, Mira, Clash, Oryx, and Tubarão. Alright, that wraps up Operation Verdant Odyssey. I hope you all enjoyed Year 2 Season 2. Remember that next week around Wednesday, I will be doing the first round of community operators, so like, subscribe, and join the Discord if that is interesting to you. Fill out the form on Discord too if you want a shot at your custom operator being featured in a future video. That's all from me for this one. I'll see you all on the flip side.
No problem.